Okay, the boxing world. Welcome back to Strictly Boxing with Derek Roland, man. We've been off for a minute, but this is all right, man. We had great fights last night, and we're going to talk about the fights last night, and we're going to talk about the fight tonight. But before we start, man, I want to welcome you to Strictly Boxing with Derek Poppy Roland. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit the subscribe button. If you like the channel, what we're talking about, man, I appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up. And again, share the video. Let me know what you think about it, man. I want to get your input on it, man. All right. Fights last night was some exciting fights. The fights was the prospects of finally fighting now. They're finally stepping up and fighting guys with competitive records. You know, I see that it's a process now. I see that is protocol now. A lot of times that everybody is taking their fighters and they want to get them some comfortable turning pro. They fight a couple guys. But at a certain point, you get to that 10-0, 8-0, 9-0. It's time to show that you are for real and you're not just somebody that's getting a pattern record. And last night, Keyshawn Davis headlined out in Virginia. Sellout crowd. Everybody came out to support him. It was a good show, and Keyshawn Davis did his thing. He did his thing, man. Keyshawn Davis, he's 12-0. 12-0, 8 knockouts. He wants to fight Gervonta Davis. He said in the interview, he wants to stay 135 pounds until Gervonta Davis fights him. Now, what do you think? Now, Gervonta Davis got like 30-something fights. This guy got 12. Does that mean that it's a good fight? But I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what Keyshawn Davis did. Keyshawn Davis stepped up and fought Gustavo Lemos. Gustavo Lemos is also a good fighter. He was 29-1 going into the fight last night. Now, he's 29-2. He got 19 knockouts. His only loss was to Richard Hitchison. And to me, that could have went any way. That fight could have went any way. Richard Hitchison and Gustavo Lemos. Gustavo Lemos is a veteran fighter. He's a brawler. Keyshawn Davis boxed him. You saw him move around last night. You saw him use his feet. I'm going to tell y'all something. You know, him and Shakur, they all like family in that little camp out there. I'm going to tell you something. I could see some of the Shakur in him last night. He was moving his legs. He was popping the jab to the belly. That's Shakur number one move. They help each other. That's a good thing. But Keyshawn Davis got that crack, though. He got that crack, man. Listen, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is he ready with only 12 fights to go up against a Gervonta Davis? I don't know, man. That's a hard thing to think, but I love his attitude. I love his strength. I love his heart. I think he is. They called him the number one in line for a title shot. Like number 3. He's number 3 in 3 different WBO, WBA, WBC. He's number 3 in a couple of them. Anyway, I think he's ready for a shot. Don't know if it's against Gervonta, but Keyshawn Davis, he wants it. He shows that he's a real comer, and we ought to give him respect, man. But I'm going to tell you something else on the undercard, man. I was extremely impressed with the up-and-coming number one prospect. We call him the number one prospect, ABDULLAH Mason. ABDULLAH Mason is now 16-0 with 13 knockouts. ABDULLAH Mason went up against a veteran also. He went up against Johan Vasquez. Now, Johan Vasquez, 26. He was 26-5. Now he's 26-6 with 21 knockouts. Now, this is a lot of fights for ABDULLAH Mason. ABDULLAH Mason gets knocked down twice in the first round. Johan Vasquez gets dropped in the first round. And then the second round, ABDULLAH Mason stops him with the body shot. But ABDULLAH Mason showed that he's a real comer. He shows that he had to get up. He had to get up twice, man, you know. And I see his corner was telling him correctly. His corner was trying to get him to box this dude because he ain't nobody, Vasquez ain't nobody you could just stay there and slug with. And Abdullah said, I'm going to stay there and slug with you. You hit me, I'm going to hit you. Not always a smart decision in the sport of boxing. We really, really like to see that boxing things. Now, everybody criticizing my man Shakur. Why would you criticize somebody, man? He's a great boxer. The name of the game is boxing. The name of the game is boxing. These guys that stand there and try to slug, anybody can get it. Anybody can get caught. Anybody can get dropped. Abdullah Mason had the heart of a lion. He got up twice and stopped Vasquez with the body shot. This is Derek Poppy. Roll on at Strictly Boxing. Appreciate it, man, if you like the channel. I appreciate it if you leave a comment, man. This is Derek Poppy. Roll on Strictly Boxing. Peace.